left open, and Ocelot finally on one of his really strong champions. I mean, Anivia isn't a weak champion for him. He's definitely good with her, but now is the early Morgana pick, and of course Ryze picked against that. It's going to be a tough lane for Morgana. She has to kind of stay back and to push the lane and hope never to get caught in a Flash Prison, because Flash Prison into Shyvana gank, yeah, you're dead.
Yeah, absolutely the case, and we'll see how that pans out. And Moscow 5 in love with Taric. Soraka in that pool that SK grabbed the last time. Of basically all the supports to choose. Sona got first pick, and they're like, yeah, we want Soraka. SK still want that Sivir pick, though. They're going for that one. And they are going for Soraka again. And honestly, I do like Soraka Sivir as a lane. While it doesn't kill enemy champions, it has such great pushing pressure.
Yes.
And the problem was when they sent Soraka top to go help Aurelia, Aurelia still kind of lost that lane to Kennen. But I think they could have said, okay, Aurelia, your lane's going to suck. Sorry, bro. But let's just chain push down against his gangplank. And I think that actually could have worked quite well. And with every ranged AD still to choose, they're going for Misfortune Taric.
Graves is up there. Kog'Maw is up there. Vayne. Kennen.
All ADs, honestly. And we've seen pretty much all of them played in tournament play. The Chinese teams have a big love for Ashe and Ezreal. A lot of the European teams have big love for Kog'Maw. And a couple of them have Urgot. Like we saw Lamia play that at the last IEM, and we saw I think Lune is the ranged AD for Cypher, and he was playing him as well. So I've really seen pretty much every ranged AD played, and they're like, no, it's time for MF this one around, and we'll see if that pans out.
I want to see somebody getting stunned into Rune Prison and MF bullet time all over that, because that's going to happen. And I think that's why they like Taric so much, because it enables their super aggressive, like we get one person stunned and the entire team M5 just switches on kill mode.
Yep, and I like it for a couple of other reasons as well. So Misfortune has good synergy with Taric because she scales off AD and AP. So when Taric hits his ultimate, she'll gain double scaling. Additionally, Renekton grab.
Yes.
Interesting.
Automated Croc is going to be very, very happy about this. That's Kevin has this very, very wide range of top laners, and maybe he thinks that, is Irelia going to fall off against the Renekton? Is that the case? I don't even know.
That can happen. I mean, or Darien goes for a different strategy entirely, but
I could see him just running Gangplank again here. I mean, as long as he stays safe from the double dash, he can probably outrush Renekton.
I don't think you can out-sustain Renekton, though.
The Q, of course,
Yeah, I really do like Renekton as a pick there. And to get back on the Misfortune point, I think it's also a great choice against Soraka, because Soraka is all heals. And when you have that basically free healing reduction debuff, that's going to make your pressure even better.
And that's why we see fewer ignites this time on Team M5 as well. They're saying we have that Misfortune with healing debuff, we don't need to run that many ignites.
And Darien is going to be so. A lot of that team actually the same. They've got the Shyvana and the Gangplank as before. Subbed out that Sona for a Taric. SK actually grabbing two of the same champions as well with that Sivir Soraka lane. And we'll see how that pans out for them. But I'm trying to think of the synergies here, and you've got great AoE, the ability to jump on anyone really, really quickly as well. You've got the Morgana Dark Binding, the Sivir Ultimate, again, still great for doing all that kind of stuff. You've got them pretty defensive as well. You've got a lot of tanky frontline champions there. Which you did before with Aurelia and Rammus, but still you've got slightly more mobile ones here, I kind of feel. Where you can actually dash backwards on Renekton, unlike Aurelia. So also the amount of gank power here is phenomenal. I think Renekton will out DPS, and Aurelia and Udyr does all kinds of crazy things.
Let me just point out something about Udyr here, because Udyr, I think, is one of the safer junglers, and he may not be quite as vulnerable to counter jungling as Rammus, for instance, because Renekton is going to 1v1 Shyvana early game, isn't he?
I guess they might try to go for it. Udyr can 1v1 Shyvana. Renekton can come down as well. I think Renekton has a good chance against this Pirate. Also, remember that none of these champions need blue this time around, so they're not getting, Swain or Anivia or any of these other, big blue hogs. So, maybe that was also the choice with the counter jungling screwing with us. We can't go Anivia, we can't go Swain. Didn't go LeBlanc. I don't think LeBlanc's a great choice against Ryze necessarily, but rushed for that Morgana. Said, okay, she's a great pick. She was banned last time. As soon as they didn't ban it, grabbed that Morgana, and they were happy with that. So, not exactly a bad choice.
And Morgana really doesn't need the blue that much. I mean, she's going to be happy to have it, but she doesn't really need it. Everything Morgana needs to do is she needs to land those clutch bindings, enable her team to initiate off of one of those bindings, and then in the end actually go in and do a really good ultimate and catch a lot of people. And normally you're going to have enough mana for 3-4 bindings and automated soil and an ultimate. So I'm really liking this, and once again, like yesterday, we're seeing the champion Rise skin on Alexei, just saying, I'm the champion already. So definitely a lot of attitude here from the Russians, who have been showing us crazy play, and I am super excited to see this game. Freak. I mean, maybe it's going to be one-sided again, but to be honest, M5 are so much fun to watch. I'll watch them about any game. Just the way that they can jump on someone and just immediately kill a person. And the big question right now is, are we going to go to 3 games, or is this second game going to end everything? This is the second game in the semifinals, SK Gaming versus Moscow 5.
Hey everybody, welcome back. We are into the game. You can see SK Gaming now the blue team for this match, Moscow 5 on purple. And I kind of realized that in the semifinals match, you probably have a lot of first-time viewers, maybe those who don't play League of Legends. And if you don't, well, it's free, LeagueOfLegends.com. You should probably start playing. The game is phenomenal. And so let's kind of get the rundown on what these champions do. So real quick, of course, SK are kind of on top of each other, so let's start with Moscow 5. This is Shyvana. Shyvana, melee DPS, lot of damage output, highly mobile as well, runs really fast, has the ability to jump, turns into a dragon, by the way. Basically, if you're near Shyvana, you're taking some damage. Over down the rest of this roster, we have Rise. He's actually hiding in the brush. He is a actually repeated damage mage. He's going to actually cast spells every few seconds and constantly pump out magic damage from range. Has the ability to root you in place as well for a short time, so if he gets on you, you might stick in place. It might be difficult. Next up is Tarek. He's right here. He's got a big hammer. He can heal. He can stun. Shyvana getting caught.
Let me interrupt you there. There is a Shyvana getting caught. That was a great play, but very, very good juke. She is going to be safe right now, and SK Gaming took a very long route around the enemy red buff to actually catch Shyvana there. Sorry for interrupting you. Could have been a fight.
That is a smart choice. Yeah, absolutely. So looks like she's safe. So the next one up, so Tarek, by the way, he can stun and he buffs his team. So when he's just around them, he's going to give them bonus armor, bonus damage, bonus spell power. It's really, really powerful there. He can heal and he can stun, so you'll see those spells come out as well. Next one down the lineup is Misfortune. She is a ranged, mostly physical damage dealer. She also has an ultimate that deals significant area of effect damage, so if she can keep the enemy team all kind of together, she's going to toss bullets out. It's going to be really, really painful. And then Gangplank, the final one here, also a big melee damage dealer, very scary up in front, can shoot his gun at you, and also just hit you with the sword. A lot of pain there. And by the way, Moscow 5 still red again.
Well, I would have interrupted you if it was anything special, but this is Moscow 5, so this is the normal opening.
Nif almost got face checked into a brush and died there too, which is a little bit scary. But they're giving Darien red buff again, so the same as before, letting him duel with red buff. We'll see if that pans out well.
Kevin started with Cloth and 5-pot. That's definitely the safe way to start there. Seems to be running some crit chance on runes because he just crit.
Or D21 offense for the Masteries.
Oh, yeah, right, too, yes.
You can see actually 4% crit, that is from the Masteries right there. So he's at least, I think, at 17 points in offense, so pretty deep into that build. You can kind of just see his stats and all that. So that was pretty much the rundown of the Moscow 5 team. A lot of offense, one healer. Basically, if they're touching you, you're going to start taking a lot of pain.
And look at that, Nif actually running around with Sleazy Weezy there for a little while just to make sure he was going to be safe in the forest. Now they saw Diamond Procs in top lane. They're going to say, okay, Sleazy is safe for now. Nif can go bot lane and support.
Absolutely. So Shyvana might come around now. She's probably going to keep jungling Ocelot. It's pretty safe. He's actually pushing to the turret as hard as he can. Let's go down the rest of this lineup. So Ocelot is playing Morgana. Morgana is a half support, mostly mage champion. She has an ability called Black Shield, which will actually block a bunch of magic damage and keep you from being stunned and rooted and crowd controlled. As Moscow 5 has a couple effects for that. Also has an ultimate which basically tethers to every enemy around her, and if they don't break the tether by walking away, they'll get stunned in place, and so she can really initiate a fight and lock people up. Also, you can see here that's Tormented Soil, just damages anything standing on top of it, and her final ability is Dark Binding, which will root anything she hits in place, which of course synergizes with breaking the tether and that puddle down there on the ground, so you can kind of do a lot of comboing if you can land that first spell.
Good warding from SK Gaming. They had a ward in just above mid in the river, and they spotted Shyvana going through this, so they at least have an idea where she is right now. Sleazy Weezy putting that ping down on the enemy jungler, but at the same time now he gets spotted by M5's ward near red buff, and they put a ping down on him as well. So they have a good idea where the enemy jungler is right now, and they should feel safe to push. And speaking of feeling safe to push, Darien doing so much damage to the poor Crocodile there in top lane, but he's just going in.
He has 0 ward coverage on top, though, is the thing. Yeah, okay, they did see, in fact, where that jungler was, but he cannot see anything around him, so he could get jumped at any time, honestly.
Let's hope so. For the sake of having a 3-game series.
Well, that too, yeah.
Yes, 7 potions though on Darien. I just wanted to point out really quickly that he went back and bought, obviously, after taking red, and that means he is not going to be out-sustained. There's just no way Renekton can burn through 7 potions in that.
And it's 27-15, so Kevin is not having a great time at this lane.
Yep, exactly. I'm missing a boomerang blade there. Could have been good damage to Genja, who's already down at half. Goes to Pepper. Tarek, like you said, is a support who can heal, but his heal is on a very, very long cooldown. The cooldown is shortened every time he attacks, so he kind of wants to attack a little bit to get a cooldown shortened if he needs to heal a lot. Sleazy Beezy didn't know he was standing.
Heal from Genja. That was close, though. He could have gotten dropped. Boss Panda will drop his heal on as well, so all the heals have been burned out. But now Genja, honestly, I think this lane is going well to SK. Shyvana on the other side of the map will not gank them down here, and they've got a giant minion wave at the turret, so damage up, it could be scary here. I
don't understand. Shyvana was in mid lane camping for like half a minute or so, and she's still ahead in CS over Udyr. How does this even work?
I don't know if her clear speed's just faster, if she's doing a better job of predicting everything, but...
Yeah. Okay, Diamondprox coming in, just showing himself mid lane there, so that's not a gank, it's more like I'm going to hold the lane while my Ryze goes home. Possibly already buys tiers, that would be very quick to see.
1,000 gold, he'll get it,
yeah. 950 or something? 900 something.
995.
There you go.
Or 990, one of the two. Either way, close enough.
Yeah, and he has the tiers. Ryze wants to build the tiers as soon as possible. And at the same time, we have first blood in top lane. Just constant pushing. Sorry, guys, we weren't checking the top lane because they're constantly in each other's face. And, it's just not going so well for the little crocodile there.
Yeah, Darien just soloed him, too. There's no input at all from his team. Kevin just misjudged the damage output. Got taken down 22 minions to 41. Darien is dominating that lane.
That's what you exactly what you don't want to see. Yeah, Diamond now holding bot lane a little bit as Misfortune already went home and bought second Doran's, no, actually 2 Doran's blades. She had the boots already. Or maybe she started with Dawn's Blade and bought boots and Dawn's Blade. Anyway, so it's going to be a very good lane for them. And I was going to say, Ryze needs to build those tiers early. The way the tiers work, every time you cast a spell, you're going to get a little bit more maximum mana. And Ryze's damage scales off maximum mana. So he wants to buy it very early in the game. And now he's just spamming his spells even when he doesn't need to, just to get that max mana up. 4 max mana every time you use a spell. And that can be up to 1,000. So you need to use 250 spells to fill out those tiers.
Mm-hmm. And that's not going to take him all that long, honestly, so that should show up pretty well. So as we go down the rest of this lineup, Renekton, who did die and gave up first blood earlier, melee damage dealer much akin to Shyvana and Gangplank, hits you with that big giant sword thing. I don't know what to call it, honestly, but can stun you as well, can dash across a little bit as well. A little bit of lifesteal, and his ultimate actually makes him a lot bigger, damages anything around him, and makes him a really big beast as well.
What a bully! Look at Darien being such a complete and total bully here to the poor, poor crocodile. 8 potions now. 8 potions. When do you see that? Never.
His giant crit was for 88 damage. That's unfortunate.
Yep. And Alex and Diamond, guess what? They're setting up to steal blue from Sleazy, and Sleazy cannot do anything against that. I mean, Ocelot is here now as well, and maybe if he lands a good Dark Binding, but it doesn't look like they're even trying anything. SK are still hovering around. Kevin is at about half health. Good Binding actually on the Golem, so that wasn't that good. Kevin going solo, has to use Flash. Ultimate is not going to be enough. Kevin uses Ultimate. It's still not enough to survive the burst from Shyvana's either, and is going to be dropped.
Yep, that was an excellent job in Moscow 5. Now, SK did know that was going to happen. They positioned themselves. They had Udyr in the brush already, but of course Shyvana put a ward down to spot for that. And, damage output from Misfortune is pretty good, doing a good job against Sivir here.
Yep. And Soraka needs to wait for the heal debuff to be over whenever Misfortune uses that before she can heal again. Mm-hmm. So that's going to slow things down a little bit as well. Goes with Pepper, such an aggressive support play. He takes a little punishment for it, but there's the spell shield procced on Candy Panda, and Genja immediately following up. I'm not sure why Candy Panda stayed this long. Took a little bit of extra damage. That was brilliant play from M5. They used the Q from Misfortune to proc the spell shield, and then immediately followed up with a dazzle. And there is another dazzle on Candy Panda, but he's going to be safe. He's close enough to the turret.
Yep, you can see that Candy Panda can try to keep the minion wave a little bit thin before it reaches the turret, give her a little bit better chance of last hitting everything. Saber, by the way, a ranged attack champion. Wow, a lot of damage to the Misfortune. Nice Boomerang Blade there. Has a penchant for area of effect damage. You can see that Boomerang Blade coming out a couple times. Has an ability called Ricochet, which makes her next just normal attack bounce to a bunch of other targets.
Alex Ish warding the enemy Wraith camp. Very, very aggressive warding here. They really want to know when the jungler transitions into the river or out of the river. 32 CS right now for Renekton versus 59. Correct me if I'm wrong. The Pirate is winning.
A little bit. Elf was a kill.
Yes. Also, yeah. Kevin is a good top lane. I'll just have to say it again and again. But Darian is in a class of his own here right now, and he's playing a very interesting style where he's donated his team's red very, very early in the game, and there's so little you can do against that.
Yeah, and that just...
Or blue. Was it blue?
No, no, they invaded for red.
Oh, they invaded for red, yeah, and he took the red, yes. Anyway, either of those buffs are going to hurt so much. Alex Ish picking up the M5 blue, completely uncontested, of course, because SK just don't even have the time to catch their breath and counter jungle.
Yep, minion count, by the way, for bottom, though, is pretty much equivalent, 60 to 62, so all of Sivir's pushing hasn't really amounted to too much as far as denial.
Ooh, M5 setting up for a dragon, but SK spotted with a good, well-timed clairvoyance. M5
they didn't even care.
Have pulled the dragon, and they're like, you know what, you spot us, that's fine, we'll still go for it. And Candy Panda is not leaving his lane right now. Good move from Genja, using his ultimate to clear the creeps down there, so Candy Panda really can't leave now, and Genja just trading with him, because it's like, my team just took dragon. If my trading keeps you in lane, that's good for us.
Yep, absolutely, and she's actually spamming double up, just has that maxed out almost, and it's basically making her out-duel Sivir. Sivir, not one of the best duelists early on, but usually has some pretty good damage out of it, but even with Soraka's help, basically Miss Fortune is just doing a great job of owning, and this could get scary. There's the spell shield, blocks off another one of those spells, but has to be careful. Still getting worn down a bit by this Miss Fortune.
The Sleazy Weezy is now in the river. Is gonna find Diamond Prox, but he's level below her, and she has the red buff. He has a red buff as well. Still, not sure he wants to fight her right now. Darian in top lane doing so much damage to Kevin. He's pushing in on him again, and Kevin using his Q to heal a little bit, but gets another parley in his face and just has to go. Has to go home again.
Not happy for him at all.
Nope. Not at all. And Ocelot is somehow not auto-pushing with Morgana. That's strange as well. Morgana is one of those champions that normally the Tormented Soil is just going to automatically push the lane. And that's going to make it a little bit harder for Ryze to last hit. Look at Alex. He has vision where he's like, you know what? I'll take that Wraith. Thank you very much.
Yep, he did grab one. Nice play right there.
He grabbed the big one as well. That's most of the money.
Yeah, well, of course.
Yep. Yep, and let's have a look at his tiers. They are 220 bonus mana, so he's about a quarter of the way through fitting those tiers already.
Wow, and there we go. Some more aggression coming in, though. Candy Panda doing some good job there. Did block that first stun from Tarek. His cooldown's going to come up in the next 3 seconds, though. It is going to outpace Spell Shield, so they've got a little bit of a window of aggression here if they want to go for it. He is in range. Doesn't quite go for the dazzle yet. Now he's in range again. He is going to... No, he's not.
No.
Okay, I'm just wrong over and over again.
Interesting. He has the spell shield back right now, so yep, there it is.
Nice.
Good reaction time there. That's exactly the kind of mechanics you need to see on a top player. Candy Panda doing that really well. And still not bursting enough, even with his Boomerang Blade. Miss Fortune has the Shatter Aura from Tarek. So she is currently at 76 armor versus 57.
96 when she's nearby. Also has the cloth armor in her inventory. She's going for what might be a Wriggle's Lantern. So she's really just able to withstand all of Sivir's damage output.
And guess what? M5 are in the enemy jungle again. Alex Ish and Diamond Prox. They may be trying to dive, but Kevin is so scared. He's already running. Is the blue going to come off again already?
Should be soon. Yeah, should be
in
this minute.
So they have perfect timers on the enemy blue there as well. Ocelot using his black shield. That's not going to happen against the Q because that's physical damage. And there is the blue. And it doesn't look like SK even want to contest this. Oh, this is just looking so sad for them right now. And so good for M5. M5 are just dominating this. And there's the flash across the wall. CCBC going very, very low. Turtle shield is not going to be enough turtle stance. Ocelot is going to just retreat and say, like, you know what? There's nothing I can do here. And the blue buff did go to Shyvana. Would have been a little bit better on Ryze, I feel, but it doesn't really matter. Again, what they're trying to do is not so much take a blue buff, but rather keep the enemy from having a blue buff.
Yep, and it worked out. And there's a nice dark binding there onto Shyvana. He does lock her up for a while, but going to get back into
at the same time, top bot turret, though, is falling. Candy Panda is pushing very aggressively, and they're doing exactly what you said. Soraka... Soraka Civi is such a strong pushing lane. Ocelot is there now as well. Is he going to be able to land the Dark Binding? Yes, he does, and that's Genja certainly going to drop down right there.
Oh my god!
One more attack, and he gets it barely.
But he got healed by Tarek. That was close.
Yeah, that was very, very close. But Ocelot, very, very well done there. Judging that he wouldn't have enough time to just run up, so he immediately flash queued, and it was just barely enough to catch Miss Fortune.
If this Sivir has to be buying items pretty soon. She's still on 2 Doran's Blades.
Oh, Darian finds Kevin in the Tribush there in top lane. Kevin, for some reason, fancies his chances to go in and attack. I'm not sure I agree with that. Yep, and there he is, hiding under his turret right now. Darian at 104 last hits versus 62 for the automated Crocodile.
And yeah, it's not looking too happy.
Yep.
They're in level 11 now. I believe that's, well, it's tied with Alex for the highest level in the game.
Mm-hmm.
See what Rise picks up now as well. He's back to base. Gets a Banshee's Veil all at once.
Wow. Oh, that is just so much money. He's not even fancying his chances to go against Darien at all. There's a 4-level difference right now, so he is completely right. Kevin is going in, but Diamond Prox is around the corner, but there's all of Team SK setting up for this. Diamond Prox is just waiting.
But Diamond's there.
Yeah, there's the CV revealing him, but Kevin just not enough sustain there. Oh, Dark Binding barely missing. Could have been a kill on Diamond Prox there, but not quite.
Yeah, nice try, absolutely. So again, Oracle's already picked up there for Diamond, so he's going to be ward sweeping pretty soon. Has a lot of wards in inventory as well. Some potions still, just in case he gets low. And he's kind of relying on Wriggles and soon a Merc Treads.
And let me just point out that the kill that Candy Panda did there was the first kill for Team SK. And Darien getting dived under his turret. He's healing and he's flashing out. Kevin going after him, but there's Gozo Pepper as well and Diamond Prox waiting in the wings. They don't really want to fight this under the enemy turret. Yeah, they should have seen the Shyvana attack there and back off, but guess they just really want to get the money from the turret. And Diamond Prox has now turned on his burnout just to clear minions quickly, because that's one way you can stop a push, by just clearing enemy minions very quickly, and the tower will then just attack whatever targets are left.
Yeah, I guess they had not enough vision, because it was basically a 4v2, and you can pretty much 4v2 under an enemy turret. I mean, you might not want to fight them there, but you're not going to get scared off. But, really no reaction from the rest of Moscow 5, but it didn't matter. Misfortune kept pushing bottom. Yeah. She's got a lot of gold off of that, now up to 115, has outpaced Sivir by about 2.5 minion waves. Morgana's going to try to, clean up the rest of this if she can, but still kind of interesting to see just how far ahead Moscow 5 are getting by,
Oh, Candy Panda now getting caught by Alex Ish in mid lane. He has to go back under his tower. And one more Q, barely saved by the wish from Nif Soraka there. Alex Ish is just so aggressive. Diamond Prox was walking around but didn't even go near the fight. He's like, Alex Ish has this. I don't even need to help him.
Yeah, no worries. So we're trying to get some gold back. Only level 9 though is pretty squishy here. 46 magic resist, not a ton, but it's almost entirely just from being near that.
Yeah.
That's Soraka.
Dragon up again. Diamond Prox sees that there are no enemy wards. There is a CV well timed from Nif. They check the dragon and they know that M5 are going for it. Now this is the fight that could decide everything. Seems to be taking so much damage up front. He has to run out. Boss Panda also so very low, not being a boss at all. And good Dark binding on Gozo Pepper, but even though he's the support, he can just tank this. He's gonna be fine. Freak, what can SK do now? It looks like M5 are just running away with this game again.
Yeah, they're about 10% on gold. Oh my gosh, also got caught. But that spell shield is going to keep him alive just a little bit. That black shield helping out quite a bit. Rex is going to keep farming up at top, and unfortunately, that's his second time. He's had not a great time at top lane, and I think it's just, maybe Renekton was, the early red buff is going to make his life pretty hard, and that was actually the case. But
still 6 potions on Darien. He just didn't even need all those potions he bought.
That's true, and he's got a Phage as well. He can keep chasing someone down pretty easily.
Yep, the proc chance of the Phage is only 25%, but it procs off the Q and of his normal attacks, and let's not forget he has a passive that slows people down.
It's going to be pretty brutal.
Yep. Moscow 5 is currently only 3k gold ahead and 2 kills ahead, because it feels like so much more, but they have a psychological advantage. SK are on the back foot right now. They must feel bullied, Freak, and they wouldn't be wrong to feel bullied, because M5s are big bullies, but they are bullies in a really, really well played way, and they deserve all the hype they're getting. I have not seen a team just amaze me this much with aggressive playing style in the longest time.
It's absolutely true, and you can just see they're basically just dominating most of the map, really. And oh my gosh, are you serious? SK about to get their own blue buff.
Oh wow, that is a brilliant steal there from Ocelot, stealing his own blue buff, and the CV just a little bit too late there from Gozo Pepper. Oh, M5, you just had your second blue buff stone, your secondary blue buff.
Yeah,
that would be a little mean here, Freak, but
sure.
But yeah, M5 are just they're dominating this game. They're taking everything from the enemy jungle. They know exactly when to invade. They know how to get the entire team ready to help with the invade as well. And I hope that a lot of pro teams are paying attention to this and going, how can we implement this sort of playstyle into our game? Because this is clearly a strong advantage. Bot lane, it looks like they're trying to dive there on Candy Panda. Nif is around the corner for a heal, but Candy Panda is also very, very low on mana. They wanted to push this turret right now. And in the forest, Alex Agent Diamond Prox setting up. Ocelot is going to spot them. Yeah, he's actually going to hit on Diamond Prox. And Candy Panda and Nif need to run right now. They need to just leave this turret, die. Yeah.
Yep, turret's gone. A little bit of an invade from Moscow 5 as well. Diamond and Alex both coming in, trying to get rid of these Raismen. Actually, I think he left the big one. There they go, pick that one up.
Yep. And Ocelot actually not doing so badly this game. He's at 149 CS with 153 on Rise. So he's actually doing better, but Rise does have a kill and assist.
Kill.
Yeah, well, Ocelot only has an assist. I feel that generally, though, in a all 5-on-5 team fight, Morgana is more impactful because of her ultimate. But, we said it time and time again, M5's strength is just taking a single target out. That is certainly something that Rise is so much better at, with all the damage from his Q.
Yeah.
And they were seeing it on Sleazy Weezy, so much damage, and he keeps diving for another Q. Let's have a look at Rise's tiers.
576.
576, so the Q currently doing 140 plus 226 damage.
Oh, man.
That's a lot.
Yeah, a lot of damage here.
Almost an auto attack. I mean, with the cooldowns that it has. So he almost auto attacks for 300 something. 400 something.
370 damage, pretty painful. Every 2.8 seconds? Yeah, that's gonna hurt you a little bit.
Yep.
So Kevin's still not in a happy place against Darien. 2 levels down. I don't think either have really left their lane that much.
Nope.
So it's just, aside from the steals on blue, sure, but Kevin not in a happy place here. Still getting pushed down.
Yeah, and he's about 50 creeps behind, even a little bit more.
98 to 156, almost 60 behind.
Yeah. Darien just has 50% more CS than Kevin. Kevin trying to go in for some last hits there, needs to use the dash to even get out and be safe again. Genja and Gozo Pepper just, chilling in the enemy forest, as you would. Blue buff going over to Alexish again, that's just, standard. Dragon may be coming up soonish, because M5 are kind of hanging around that general vicinity. I don't think that SK have the timing on Dragon, I'm not sure, Freak.
I think they know that they went for it. I think that they're a good enough team to know and infer a Dragon timer, so I think they'll be okay with this. Diamond getting hit with a Dark Binding doesn't really care, though. Lifesteal's a bit back up, and of course has Tarek to heal.
Yeah.
SK getting ready to defend maybe their middle turret. So M5 just, wow, great ward sweeping. A Diamond, of course, wearing that Oracles.
Yeah.
Doesn't even have that many items. Just it's Briggles and Merc Treads, but it's enough to keep him in great shape this entire game.
Yeah, it is 21 minutes in. He doesn't have that much farm, but it's just his constant presence. It's the fact that he coordinates this counter jungling that keeps the enemy team from using their own buffs. And I think that's a very, very strong impact to be having. Kenny Pan had very good shielding there, just at the last second, shielding that Q. And that's going to give him some mana back the way it works with Sivir. If you spell shield an enemy spell, you're going to get some mana back. And that means just more Q spam.
Yeah. You see, he's just pushing through onto these minions. Again, just full clears the wave. It's not bad at all, but you can see Moscow 5 Genja pushing bottom. Says, "Oh, you're all missing. Okay, I guess I'll go for golems."
And once again, Genja does not like to build the damage first. He does go Final Lancer first. He did it on Kog'Maw. He did it on AD Cannon. And he's doing it on Misfortune as well. Which is kind of strange to me, because Misfortune, her ultimate has decent scaling with Q. With AD, Q has decent scaling with AD. Looks like Kevin is going to get dived in top
Oh,
mid there.
man, it's gonna hurt.
Just so sad. Uses his ultimate to try and get out of it. There is an Ignite down on him as well. No, an Ignite down on Diamond Prox, actually. Diamond Prox just jumps back and turns into a giant dragon and eats him.
Wow, beautiful job there by Moscow 5. Just did dive that turret correctly. Of course, they have complete ward control. You could see, as we look at SK's view, nothing at the top of the map. Had no way of knowing she was coming in. That was a great dive there. SK coming back to go for a turret. Let's see if they can do enough against Alex. Looks like he's happy to just keep hitting. Oh, wow, Kenny Panda. Not enough. Ignite over just dominated that summoner heal, and he's still fighting this basically 2v3 now.
He basically went in 1v3. Tarek was nowhere near in range to do anything. He was like, you know what, I'm going to go in 1v3 you and kill your AD carry with the Bloodthirster all by myself. Sad face for SK and M5. They must feel really good, Freak. This is a tournament for them on Ukrainian soil. A lot of people here speak Russian, so it certainly feels like home for them. And their first offline event, they want to prove themselves, and you know what? They have made a name for themselves. This is
so far so good.
Oh my, this is so much fun to watch. All this aggression, and they know exactly how aggressive they can be without taking too many risks.
What I'm actually looking forward to, though, is Team Solo Mid kind of tout themselves as the kings of aggressive play style. So, if Moscow 5 does win this game, and if Team Solo Mid does, or either way, if these two teams match up in the third place or the grand final match, I'm actually looking forward to that as a specific matchup. That'll be fun.
It's probably more likely that they'll meet in the finals, though. That is, of course, even better with even more on the line. And after all the aggressive talk in the internet, and they take off blue. Darien in the front line there. Ocelot going in with a very, very good ultimate. But look at the damage to him, how quickly he's dropped. He actually gets his ultimate through. No one dead yet. There is the kill on Ocelot. Kevin following very quickly. They switch focus to Sleazy. Gozo Pepper still surviving. Diamond Prox is on Nif. Nif has the flash. Diamond Prox turns into a giant dragon as Candy Panda just comes in from the right and is chased out by Genja all by himself. Darian's ultimate on top of all of that goes. Candy Panda flashes, but it's not enough. Genja and Darian flash after him, and yeah, except for Nif, that was an ace.
Yep, except for Nif. They jumped into a 4v4. They got a great Morgana ult. It did, I think, proc on pretty much everybody, but it just didn't matter. They did not get enough damage out of it.
Yep.
And the entire team from Moscow 5 just stayed alive, and they survived the battle. And then Sivir came in and basically dueled Misfortune, and that went Misfortune's favor.
Yeah, well, that's what you said. Sivir not the greatest duelist, even though Misfortune is building strange stuff. I mean, she's building 3 Dawn's Blades, a seal, and a lantern.
Well, I think it works because she's actually done, this player has done Wriggles in every game I've seen so far.
Right.
Kog'Maw both times as Kennen, and now on Misfortune, so just like a big fan of Wriggles. And it says, well, if I have Wriggles and 3 Dorn's Blades, I have 180 attack damage. At that point, yeah, I'll buy a Zeal because why not get some critical chance out of that?
And also, of course, for a duel against another AD, let's not forget that Wriggles gives you 30 armor, so that doesn't suck.
Yep,
that's really good.
And I think that's also because again, Moscow 5's players need to be individually self-sufficient because the team roams around and picks up buffs by whoever's nearby, and so anyone who's left alone needs to be able to survive this, and that's why Gangplank, who can of course escape, run really fast, eat oranges, is able to get away from a lot of the stuff, and then Misfortune the same way is building a bit of durability, and that's working out. You can see 112 armor, has flat magic resist blues, has that Wriggles Lantern in there, and it's panning out quite well.
It's
and an Infinity Edge.
Oh yeah, well, minor details. Infinity Edge, that's just you buy that with pocket money. Frozen Mollet going to be built very soon on Darian, and that's the Fromox build, of course, the Frozen Mollet Atmox build, which is even more aggressive than the good old Atmox. We did nerf Atmos a little bit.
Warmox.
Warmox, sorry, yeah, Atmox, yeah. We did nerf Atmox, that's true as well. We did nerf the combination by nerfing Warmox.
Yes.
Anywho, the Frozen Mallet into Atmos Impaler. Very, very strong build. He's gonna nail. He's just gonna slow people so much that they cannot get out and still have a lot of attack damage. And as I'm saying this, though, he is being nailed there in top lane. He was a little bit too far out. Don't think his team can get it there in time, but at the same time, they're killing Candy Panda in mid lane.
Yep.
And there's the jump in from Diamond Prox, and that's a dead Candy Panda. Nif is probably gonna fall as well. And look at Darian, he gets out there with full health. How does this happen?
He's got a lot of move speed. He turned on that raised morale and just kept running, and Udyr could not quite catch up. He's not all that high level, so his bear stance only level 1, and that's what happens when you steal so much jungle that your jungle is 14, enemy jungle are 11. Yeah, that's going to start kind of adding up pretty quickly.
Oh, this is looking really dire for SK, and it's looking so good for M5. What would you feel right now if you were in M5's shoes? I think you'd start to have a little grin on your face, right?
You might be smiling, but I think you're still pretty much going for the win hardcore as before. You can see the jump in now on a Sleazy Weezy, not in a great place, but might survive now. Kevin just jumped on really hard, and there's the Misfortune note goes off. A little bit of damage up on a Morgana, but most of the team had retreated by now. A great Dark Binding. Sleazy's still alive. Nope! Gonna drop down right there. Chuck Testa says that is a dead person. And, Morgana, you're in the middle of everyone, and gone again. Alex with a double kill here.
And Genja dueling against Candy Panda while the base turret is attacking him. He's like, I don't really care that much. And there's the GG well played from SK. They are conceding this game. It's probably going to be a surrender vote very soon, or they're just going to wait for M5 to push down the turrets. So definitely very sportsmanly conduct here from SK. We kind of expected this to go this way, and I can hear the crowd cheering all the way through the walls here. Freak. What an aggressive game. Who can stop Moscow 5?
Well, we're going to find out in the second semifinal if it's going to be Dignitas or Team Solo Mid, and I think there's a chance they can do it. I think this game started out pretty close for this matchup, but realize that none of these lanes were dominant, right? Morgana versus Ryan was pretty much equal.
Yeah.
The bottom lane there of Sivir Soraka against Tarek Misfortune was equal, but it was Darian who actually controlled that game. Of course, Diamond, great player, did invade a lot.